The 2026 Formula Drift season is right around the corner, and you guys have been asking what's going on, so let's talk. We can start with a little shop walk around. We have slowly but surely been making some space in here. Now, a lot of it is just, we're still dealing with the move in general, finishing it. You guys are seeing the sim videos, the lounge videos. We're mostly done with all the heavy renovation, which is amazing, but we're a pretty small team, although very mighty. So we're still doing the little moving things, organizing the outside, and the shop has been getting, some progress made along the way. Ignore the destroyed toolbox right here. We're currently working on the empty car, which I'll get to. But there is been some shop progress in terms of just making some more space, which has been huge. And honestly, there's just so much stuff that goes into preparing for a season, off camera, outside of the shop, working with partners, getting everything together, planning content. There's been so much amazing things going on, but stuff that we weren't necessarily filming, which is kind of why there's been a lack of shop content. But nothing has changed in terms of our competition plans for this year. Yes, we're doing Formula Drift, and yes, she's going to be getting a complete makeover that we're going to be starting right now. But I wanted to update you guys with what exactly we're doing, and then just get it out there that yes, of course, we're coming back. We're going to be bigger, better than ever for my second season in Formula Drift. Not a rookie no more, even though it'll be really interesting this season with most of the tracks being new. The only course that we're going to is Road Atlanta. That's going to be the same, and all the other ones are brand new. So it's sort of like a driver equalizer. It's going to be new for everyone, not just the rookies coming in this season. So I'm actually really excited about that, and I'm really glad they kept Atlanta on the schedule. But overall, fortunately and unfortunately, as you guys know, we had to completely rebuild the car mid-season last year, which means pretty much everything was thrown onto the brand new chassis, and it really was a crazy time. You guys have been on the channel since then. You know the deal. It was freaking wild. We had 11 days to completely build a Formula Drift Pro car and be ready for the next round to make it on time. We did it. The car is amazing. And even though that was insane, it actually worked to our benefit now in the off season, since we've been so busy with this move, that this chassis is relatively new. And that's not something that now we're having to do off season. So that has been one great thing that's made us stress a lot less about getting ready for the 2026 season. Now, overall, we are not going to be building a new engine. We had already replaced the head on that engine last year, and we just want to do some health checks on the engine and possibly tear it apart just to replace bearings. With all of the drift abuse, that's one weak point that could hurt the engine, obviously, if it fails later on. But we're going to be going through a number of engine health checks that we'll do in the next few videos to see how that thing's doing. But engine has been amazing, working with RS Garage and Jay and Run BC with all their parts in there as well. And this has honestly been such an amazing package and just experience to drive. I am completely a 2JZ girl now, through and through, 100%. And outside of that, I would say that is the biggest variable that we don't know as of this moment. I do have my backup engine, but that's just one thing we're going to check. Other than that though, the car is getting a full refresh, and it's mostly off season, going through spares, ordering new spares, seeing kind of what was chaotic about last year, what can we do better this year. There is one big change, however. We're doing a huge change to the rear end of the car. As you can see, everything is dropped out at the moment, and we're going to be getting a little crazy back here, or at least crazy compared to what I had last year. The entire goal for my rookie year in Formula Drift was to keep the car as simple as possible. There are so much more things that I need to focus on as a driver than the car can ever compensate or make up for. So not overcomplicating the car, not having crazy amount of adjustability, keeping things simple and focusing on the biggest variable, which is obviously the driver. And we're maybe making some pressure, obviously, and toe changes throughout the weekend, and like rear sway bar or not, on or off. I always run the front sway bar. So that was great. And I think honestly, it helped me so much in my rookie year, just stay focused, not overcomplicate things. And that was great. And going into this next season, I just want to have more adjustability. I want to grow as a driver. I really want to get the chassis feeling even better than it did before. So we're going to be upgrading to the entire WiseFab rear grip kit for the E46. Excited for this upgrade. I actually have the entire kit here, and this is gonna be huge. This is literally replacing pretty much everything back here from the knuckles, and I'm also getting the upper and lowers from WiseFab as well, which we actually had issues with the uppers rubbing our axles, and now that issue is going to be solved, which is awesome. Now by doing this, I am going to be converting now to true coilover in the rear, which I hadn't done that yet, but shout out to fellow Pro Spec driver Corey Talaska, who's given us some advice on what to expect, because this is something that he actually did, and he liked the car so much better. One, overall, it just felt better. It gives you so much more adjustability, control, and you can make those changes so much easier. So this is something that is going to be really good for many, many reasons, and we decided to not do it last year, just to keep things simple. But overall, I think with some of the issues we were having with arms, I just think this is gonna be so much better. So that is one big thing that we are changing on the car. And aside from that, maybe if I can, coerce my way into getting like a slightly bigger nitrous shot this year, that would be what I would want. Like, of course, I'm just always gonna want more power, and now I'm gonna have the ability to put even more grip into the car to handle the additional power. But as of right now, if I do get more power, it's not gonna be anything really crazy. Like the reliability that we had last year and power to grip, like everything, I was so happy with it. So yeah, we're just going to be doing that full rear conversion to all WiseFab. Still going to be sticking with BC Racing, just going true coilover for the rear. And another thing that we discovered when dropping this is that I need a new rear subframe. So this is WiseFab subframe that is reinforced and modified to accept the quick change that I have. And in the accident, I don't know if I didn't realize it at the time or if this happened over time. It's actually pinched right here. Kind of hard to see, but it's pinched in, and obviously I had two pretty gnarly crashes in this thing, and this same subframe was with Jeff Donati for like 2-3 seasons of Formula Drift, so honestly it's been through a lot. This is gonna end up being the backup subframe, and yeah, you can see that would also have affected the alignment for the last half of the season, so getting a new one of these is also on the agenda. Other than that, I mean, dude, brand new chassis for the most part. Obviously we wanted to clean it up, did it all nice and beautiful again. Oh, we did always have issues with our exhaust popping off. Where is it at? That was always super annoying. So Alberto is actually gonna come over here and put a V-band on this so that we do not have that issue anymore. We were just never able to, one, have the time to do that or ability to do it on the road. So we will be changing that. But everything else is going to be the same. I absolutely love the way this car feels with WiseFab in the front. BC Racing suspension all around. I always run front sway bar, not doing any changes there. Oh, I probably should have another intercooler made, even though this dude is holding on. As you can see, this side of the car has already been getting the livery torn off of it, but I can tell y'all what's coming to replace it is going to be so cool, and I can't wait to show you. That's gonna be happening in the next like week or two, and we're planning a big shoot around that, but definitely gonna do a makeover in that sense. We had some issues last year in Atlanta. We had some issues last year where my hydro just wasn't working. It was like the wrong combination of bracket, I think, for the dual caliper and size rotor and all of these things, BMW things that are so confusing that I've now drawing it out of like what I have on my car. So I've had this question from some people too of like, oh, what are you running? And it is a little complicated. This is my picture titled, What's Going On? To try and explain this better because it still gives me a headache at times. But for those of you that are wondering like what the actual setup is, we're gonna start in the front. This is a bunch of E36 stuff. So, and it's E36 non-M. What has still driven me crazy to this day about the BMW market is that so many parts will bolt up, but they're all slightly different sizes. And then a bunch of people, especially in drifting, our cars are like a mishmash of a bunch of different things. So it gets a little complicated, but going through last year, we did do our best to make it not as complicated, to still have a good amount of spares and be able to get things. Now things are changing again this year, but the front is staying relatively the same. In the front, I actually have E36 non-M knuckles, and because of that, you need to get your E46 BC Racing suspension and swap the lower to E36 lowers so that everything bolts up, and that also means that for the hub and rotor, it's E36 in the front. That's as simple as it gets. And then we go to the rear. Now, half the season last year, I had 330 arms and like full rear setup. After the car got totaled, we swapped to all the E46M stuff. Now we're getting rid of that and we're going back to E46 330 stuff because that is what the WiseFab rear grip kit and full setup requires. The amazing thing about the whole WiseFab setup is that it gets rid of the stock arms. So we're going WiseFab upper and lower arms, but that also means that we need to now do a true coilover conversion, which I hadn't done yet on this car. So that is new for this coming season. But where it's a little bit complicated is now with the WiseFab knuckles, take a different style bearing. So the bearing is actually the 4 bolt-on E92, like a 2008 bearing, and that's gonna go into our 330 hubs, which are the bigger ones that take like the bigger spline, bigger axles. And then that also means because we're doing dual caliper setup, we also need the bigger rotor, which the 330 E46 rotors are the bigger ones. This past week, I've been going crazy trying to find somebody that already had them pre-drilled to 5x114. That does not exist for the bigger rotor, which is what we need to have full engagement with a dual caliper setup with this whole new WiseFab rear. So it sounds a little more complicated. It's gonna be a lot better in the end, but in the rear, where we still have the full WiseFab now, getting rid of all the stock stuff and different bearing setup, rotor and hubs are from 330. That's like the most important part that I've been trying to figure out. Now to make things a little complicated, your girl runs 5x114 on all of her cars. I just like having wheels that go on everything. This is the only thing that I own that comes 5x120. So that adds another layer of complication, just needing to get the bigger 330 rotors drilled and then the hubs drilled as well. If you guys aren't using the bigger stuff that you have like regular E46, E36 non-M style things, hub and rotor combo, and Juku Racing actually already makes those parts that are really affordable, and they're pre-drilled, dual drilled for both 5x114 and 5x120. So shout out to you guys. If you can do that, it'll make your life a lot less complicated, but that is what we're doing. And for the hubs that we're drilling, we're just doing M12 thread-in studs for this year. So hopefully that explains a little bit about what's going on. Things, cars, BMW, nah. Car things. I don't get it. Oh, did she wash her hair today? What? Wow. It's really simple. You got all that? So yeah, that is pretty much the update on the FD program. We're diving into all of this week. Eric, as you can see, the whole rear end was already down, so Eric already got that out, and we started diving into it. Updates on anything else? This is, FD season's right on the corner, so this is gonna be the main priority for a while. I did recently take the Barbie 350Z, kind of rally cross gymkhana off-roading, and that was a ton of fun. And I'm very much considering leaving the Z as a gymkhana rally or like cross style car. I don't know. I had so much fun. The Z is so much fun off-road, even making the transitions to like asphalt to dirt. Like the Z is a tank, and the Z can handle it, and I had the most fun ever. So comment below if you think we should just do like a rally light build on the Z, or like a gymkhana style build, and keep it that way on the 350Z. Because all I did basically to prep for this show we were filming was raise the car enough to fit some big old tires on her. I had already done some like protection underneath, oil pan and everything beforehand, so that was already on the car. I put the carbon splitter back on in the front because it looks so much better when you don't have a bumper. But yeah, anyway, on that show, Z is so much fun. I don't drive it enough either as a drift car, so comment below if we should do some proper rally adventures and actually have a dedicated car to it. But anyway, that is the update for Formula Drift, for kind of what's going on in the shop, just slowly but surely getting it cleaned up. And now this is it, man. We are in prep, in training for FD. That's another reason why I was focusing on getting the sim up and running as much as I was, because I know how valuable it's going to be. And your girls are going to be on there turning laps at Road Atlanta and dialing in a car to feel the most like this car. But that is it. That's just a little shop walk around Formula Drift update for you guys. If you have any other questions about the build, what's going on, where else we might be this year, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.